Evie.
Yes, you are. And I'm Rob Carrera. And I have to say I'm very excited for today's topic.
Me too, Rob. I think that this entire show is based off of there being two sides to every story. And nothing proves that logic more than First Dates.
Tell me about it. I mean, me personally, I'm taken, so I don't know much about the dating scene right now. But Britt over here, she's got some experience, if you know what I mean.
Most definitely. But enough about me and more about you.
Oh.
Rob, how long have you been dating Evie?
Well, depending on about dating, but, we've been together for 2 years.
Actually, all I can recall, Rob was to put it nicely, playing the field a bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Sophomore year?
Everyone knows that, but
He called me over winter break sophomore year, and he was like, Brittany, I've been hooking up with this girl, and I think I want to make her my girlfriend. And I was like, wow, this is a big step. Like, Rob is making an adult decision.
I was adult. I still don't even make adult decisions. That's probably the biggest adult decision I've ever made so far. That and growing chest hair, because it's a choice, of course.
We're very eager and excited to hear the two sides to Rob and Evie's first date.
I'm embarrassed, but I'm excited.
So let's do that. Let's delve into Rob and Evie's
Let's see what she
date.
said. Let's see what she said behind the screen.
Our first official date was on Valentine's Day last year.
We weren't technically in a relationship, but we were seeing each other, dating.
I don't even remember what I got to eat, but I do remember that for the appetizer we got those mozzarella sticks that were wrapped in prosciutto.
And it was just a great meal. We were kind of still nervous because it was our first date. We didn't know what to order.
And he tried to feed one to me with the fork.
And I remember I tried to be really cute and feed her.
Like a normal person would just cutely feed it to you, but he flipped it so it was going in my mouth this way.
But I put the fork in her mouth sideways, not correctly, flat. It was like this. So she's like, how am I supposed to eat that?
And it was really, really awkward.
It was a fun joke. It was cute.
But I think it was okay because we just laughed about it, and now it's a joke.
And then after that, we went home and we held hands.
We hadn't been dating that long, so he got me a Build-A-Bear. And it has pink and red hearts all over it, and he named it Cuddles Carrera.
Keep it classy. That's exactly what happened.
Okay. So I think that was just an amazing first date story.
You know what's funny? You see it going back and forth, me watching the interviews, and they're we're talking about the same moment. It was it is really cute. But she took it in stride. I love how I'm oh, it was a joke, and she was it was so awkward. But that's just my life. I'm just awkward all the time, We loved it, and we had a great time.
But I think that's really interesting because guys and girls can go on the same date where they're doing the same things.
Different perceptions.
But just different perceptions of it.
The guy's oh, I killed it. I pecked her on the cheek, and then she goes to tell her mom, that guy was a stalker. I'm never seeing him again. That's not what happened.
Actually happened to me. But,
it has. I've been there.
One of the worst things I think that can happen on a first date, this is worst case scenario, is when, no matter how good or bad the date is, what's bad is when one person thinks it's good and one person thinks it's terrible. And the reason for that is because just the one person doesn't like the other person. That's a huge issue.
Dates don't go as well as you think they're going to go.
Yeah.
But then sometimes in that scenario, they go so well that you're oh my God, that was the smoothest date I've ever been on, So honestly, I think it goes without saying that I know Brittany very, very well. We have a TV show together. But maybe even better than she knows herself. So I decided to build Brittany's dream date. And here it is. Are you ready for this dream date scenario?
I'm actually very nervous as to what you're going to say.
I knew I had to pick someone with a Ryan, some sort of name with a Ryan. It just came to me. So I'm going to let you decide, Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling. I have 2 different dates for that. So pick wisely.
I'm going to pick Ryan Gosling.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. Ryan Gosling, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You and him, right, are going to bump into each other at New York City street, right? Casually, oh, hi, oh my God. For some reason, you don't recognize it's Ryan Gosling, even though he's super famous and hot. I mean, handsome, sorry. Anyway, he's going to go into a bar, and your dad's going to be there. And
why is my dad there?
Listen.
Okay.
Maybe I'm reenacting a movie, maybe not. Just calm your horses. He's going to be talking to your dad oh, I just bumped into the most beautiful girl. She's so cool. Whatever.
Is this Crazy Stupid Love?
No! What?
Wait, what's the Ryan Reynolds story?
I don't know. Hold on.
Rob!
I know, but I don't know. I have a good one for Ryan Reynolds. Shut up. It's actually Green Lantern. You're going to,
Oh my God, I've never seen that, so if I would have chose that one, I would have thought you actually made it up.
As I was saying, your dad would be like, oh, my daughter's in the city. She's filming, for your movie. He has a new movie out. It's called Crazy Sexy Love. Not Crazy Stupid Love. It's Crazy Sexy Love, the sequel. Now, he goes, he sees you there. He's like, oh my God, this is fate. I have the Father's blessing because he didn't beat me up. I'm here now. He asks you for your name. You say it's Rosita. I don't know why you would lie, but you're nervous, Ryan Gosling. He's really handsome, right? So then Ryan's like, well, I'm Ryan. Of course, everyone knows he's Ryan. He's got that like midnight scruff that he does so well with like the hipster glasses and the hair that's kind of better than mine because it's like shorter. Ooh, I look good. And it's like trim, like that. He's looking beautiful. For some reason, he doesn't have a shirt on because he's filming the shirtless scene. So he's like, do you want to go grab coffee after this? It's late, you're going to be tired, but whatever. Coffee, of course, means sex. You say yes. Then on the date, you want a glass of wine. You get carded. He says, wait a minute, your name's not Rosita, it's Brittany. You're like, I know, that's your cute joke. You say, I was so nervous to meet you, I lied about my name. You guys laugh, you cry. Isn't he with someone? He breaks up with that girl because technically he's cheating at this point. Then, fast forward 30 years later, you're telling your kids about how you met Ryan Gosling and married him, and your kids are listening and watching from a couch. That's not how I met your mother. That's completely different. How do you think?
Wow. I don't know where the date part was, but I liked everything you said.
I'm insinuating that you guys had sex because you have kids. Is that okay?
All right. Well, on a serious note, Rob brings up a good point, and that is that we all have good dates and we have bad dates. So let's move on to Kelly Curtin in the field. She's going to be asking the Marist community about their best and worst first date stories.
Hi, I'm Kelly Curtin, and I'm here today to ask people about their best and worst first dates. So what is your name?
Nick.
And what is your worst first date experience?
Oh, my worst first date experience was I was 18 years old and completely legal. I was in Shanghai, and I took a girl out to dinner because she worked in an office and knew my father somehow, and we just kind of got her number, and I asked if she wanted to go get dinner. And so we went out, had dinner, and it was great, and we had a number of drinks, and so we both got very drunk, and I managed to tell her on the first date that I loved her. And a number of other things that I said that probably wouldn't be appropriate for a camera, but I managed to say all of those and get her to manage to lose my number and also never work in the same office that my father worked in ever again. So that was my first date experience.
So good impression you made, right?
I have the greatest first impressions in the world.
And what's your name?
Ashley.
And what is your best or worst first date?
So my best first date, he surprised me, picked me up, and he took me to this really cool, like, cave-looking restaurant in the city. And it was really nice, like, amazing food. You had to make reservations weeks in advance. And then at the end, even though he lived in the city, he took the subway all the way back up to the train station, waited with me until my train came, and then gave me a hug, a kiss on the cheek, and that was it. It was a great night, and really enjoyed it.
He sounded like a gentleman, right?
Complete gentleman.
What is your name?
Anthony.
And what is your worst first date story?
One time I met up with a girl in New York City for a concert, and she ended up thinking she could go into the mosh pit and broke her foot. And I had to carry her back to her dad's apartment, and it was a disaster.
What happened after that?
We went on like 3 more dates and never really went anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your name?
Caitlin.
And what was your worst first date experience?
5 minutes into the car ride, he started telling me that we're listening to a mixed CD that his ex-girlfriend made him, and it just got progressively worse from there. He was rude to the waitress, and we were at Hibachi, so we were sharing a table, and he was so loud that people kept looking over at us, and I couldn't wait to get out of there. So it was pretty bad.
So it was pretty horrific first date, right?
Yeah, and then he stalked me like at Darby's later that night, and I was like, leave me alone.
So was he like a stage 5 clinger maybe?
Big time,
Okay.
big time.
So what is your name?
Dennis.
And what was your worst first date experience?
Well, we went to IHOP, which was probably the first wrong step there. And the problem wasn't with her, but it was more with our waiter, who it was a little overly friendly, ended up sitting down at our table with us, and then brought up drag queens. And then he proceeded to tell us about his buddy, who was a drag queen, and all of his different reasonings towards why he is pro, gay people, which we were all fine with. We didn't need him sitting there telling us, and it was just like a really awkward situation because it was not only a first date, but now we had our waiter sitting with us, and we were his only table.
What about your best first date?
My best?
Yeah.
The one that I had discussed already, actually.
Oh,
because of
I
what
knew
led
you were gonna
to.
say that.
Yeah, I will
Well,
tell
tell
you
us
the
your
worst.
worst. Yeah.
It wasn't a first date, because I'm not going to lie. I usually kill it on first dates. But a worst, not to brag, but a worst date, absolutely. I'm dating this girl in high school. We're dating for a while. I'm like, let's just keep it, casual right now. Let's just go to like hibachi, another hibachi. Bad things happen at hibachi, apparently. We get there, like a lot of friends are there that we didn't know would be there. Mostly her friends. Her ex-boyfriend's there.
Oh, God, you hate
Get
me then.
this, on a date with my ex-girlfriend.
What
I
are
didn't
the
even.
odds?
The odds. Both of them were not as good looking as us. Well, not as good looking as me, so I didn't feel as bad. But I got food poisoning at hibachi. I ended up throwing up everywhere.
At hibachi?
In the bathroom. I made it to the bathroom.
Okay.
Just everywhere. Just for like a good 10 minutes. And like seriously, it was projectile. Like I was standing up and it was just like, it was great. So like I finally come back after like 10 minutes of vomiting. And she's like, "What took you so long?" This was a bitch. I'm sorry. Not that she watches this show, but she's a bitch. Anyway, so I was like, I got sick. She's like, "Oh, you are so gross." I was like, "Go fuck yourself. You're paying for yourself." So I was pissed. So I left and I had to go back. I was sick. I had food poisoning. Bitch didn't even care. She was like still looking. She was like looking at her ex-boyfriend like a couple of times. I was like, I'm like right here. I'm like right here.
That's a really awkward situation. I'm sorry.
My
that
ex-girlfriend did look pretty hot, though. I'm not gonna lie. Not that I snuck a peek.
Did you steal his girl?
Should
Steal
have.
your girl back?
My girl back? No, that was like
Like a
early. That was
teen
like 10th
movie.
grade, though. So it was like 11th grade. So it was like early. We're still awkward,
Yeah.
But it was fun, I guess. It was really fun.
I mean, it's as fun as it could be.
It was exactly as fun as vomiting on a date at
I
hibachi
think
could
that
have been.
tops like any worst first date I've ever
I
had.
was in there for a while. Like it just, I might have lost like 5 pounds. It just kept coming,
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I've never gotten sick on a first date, but
That must be nice.
I definitely have had some first dates where I'm like sitting there like, where am I? How did I get here? And how can I get home?
Guys are taking these dates just as seriously as girls. They really do. Maybe even more. You never know. So, I mean, any guy can text a girl he likes, but it takes a lot of, to be frank, balls to ask a girl out. It really does in the modern era. It may be one of the hardest things to do. So let's put some tips out there for those guys that are feeling a little intimidated, because some girls, like you're very intimidated by them, So first, just breathe. Don't get her into a panic. Freaking out's gonna happen. That's just, even if she says no, just keep it cool. Stay calm, like that poster, right? There's a poster that says
Calm
that.
and carry on.
Yeah.
It's also important to make it seem casual. Don't take her to a dinner at Shadows for the first date. She might get a little bit freaked out.
That's really romantic, actually. Yeah, that would be really hard to top that ever. That's why I want to start at like a KFC, an IHOP, keep it like casual. Absolutely.
You really don't want to like blurt it out so fast, like, will you go out with me? Because if you do that, she's like, what happened? But if you say it like awkwardly, like there's a difference. I had a guy once ask me out, and he said it like this. We were talking on Facebook, and he was like, I really don't know. Rob remembers this. I know he's gonna remember this. He was like, I really don't know how to say this. I'm really nervous talking to girls. But if you're not doing anything, would you maybe want to go to the movies? And
Guy pooped his pants on the date. It was great.
No, he didn't poop his pants. He was really awesome. But the most like I'm the worst person ever. I answered him by saying, yeah, no, sounds good. And he was like, okay, well, if you don't want to, I understand. And Rob
Classic,
was like,
yeah, no.
And I was like, Rob, why would he say that?
ambiguous.
And Rob's like, Brittany, you can't say yeah
You can't.
and no to a nervous guy. What are you doing?
Also, if you're feeling really nervous, just ease into it, Can I ask you something? Just like be casual. Like, what are you doing Friday? Just like, don't even say, let's go out Friday.
Right.
Something like that. Like, oh, what are you up to Friday? That's like really, it's a nice transition to ease into it,
I think those are some really, really great tips. And girls, you should take those as well. And don't be intimidated to ask a guy out.
Absolutely.
Especially in college, guys still have some or a lot of growing up to do.
Preposterous.
And if you like a guy, honestly, it's 2014. What's stopping you from initiating the hanging
That's
out?
true. I think it's very attractive when girls actually initiate and ask out. But college dating is pretty rare, I have to say. It's unusual, to be honest. It's usually more of a hookup scene.
Yeah.
To be honest, but I guess there's pros and cons to that. But you never know. Maybe you'll hook up one day, even after the date or before the date, and then it'll spring into a date, right?
Yeah. I think it's really interesting that dating these days is so rare, and we've kind of fallen into this thing known as like the hookup culture. If you go on Facebook, I'm sure you've seen 1,000 BuzzFeed articles that are like 25 reasons why you're not worth his time.
Like, I feel like asking that girl on a date is a step towards, we obviously have some chemistry, or at least I think we do. Like, let's see where things go, like in a more formal, like a date setting.
Yeah, I think, in today's society, it's really crazy. I feel like I also like go after guys who are much older than me. But,
damn right.
I feel like they're more willing to take a girl out.
Yeah.
You know,
spend more time and.
Yeah, which I feel like guys in college are kind of like, oh, that girl from my psych class, she's pretty hot. I'm gonna
try to bang her.
She's at Union. I'm drunk. She's drunk. Let's see what happens.
Let's knock some boots and see what happens.
But because the most awkward thing at college, and I think every college student is going to agree with this, is that you go out to a bar, you hook up with someone, Tuesday rolls around, 3:30, you're like, oh, I better look good. They don't, not even a look, like not even a glance.
They don't even recognize that you're in the same class with them anymore.
You might like bump into them like later,
like, oh, hey.
And then it's like, they're like, sorry. And you're like, oh, me too. You're like, please don't let me see them in the caf.
There was a class my freshman year where I hooked up with like 4 girls in that class, and I was like,
Jesus. And that's
like,
the problem.
Daddy's killing it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I feel like there are a lot of rules to dating, and no one really knows the answers to them, and I feel like no one even really knows like how to deal with them. Like a big rule is like how far you go with someone on a first date. You know what I mean?
There's I don't want to say outdated, but like even my mother said like, oh, like when we dated 3 dates and that was the date that you did it on. You know what I mean? 3?
I don't know. I feel like when you get older, like when you're in high school, obviously it's like you could be dating someone for years and you don't.
Yeah, I feel like after 21 or so, even like 25, like casual. If they're like really casual, if like, oh, just meet me at the bar, all our friends are here, that doesn't count. I mean like.
Yeah, that's like not a date.
Dinner and like. I don't know, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I always pay on the dates, even, like, if it's the first date, last date.
I don't know. I feel like this thing with, like, guy needs to ask out the girl, and, like, girls, like, don't kiss him on the first date. Like, you know what I mean?
Wink.
Like, you know, like, he's not going to buy the whole cow when you're giving the milk out for free. Like, that kind of thing. But I feel like that's outdated. Yeah.
First date? Absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
And like honestly, like I feel like it's silly that girls still live in this mindset where it's like, oh crap, I had sex with him, he's never gonna call me again. Like I feel like sex isn't a respect thing anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, don't hand it out like candy. I mean, it gets harder to respect a girl like, oh, I want to ask her out on a date, but I know that she banged half my floor this semester. You know, like your eyes were like, oh shit. So, you know what I mean?
But then there's also, like, stupid first date rules, like,
be polite. I don't know why people would ever be rude.
A big thing is, like, for girls at least, there's this whole thing with, like, order a salad because you don't want him to think you're a lard. But then it's like the guy's like, no, I want a girl to order a steak so I know she's a man's woman.
I know certain people who specifically will get, like, just soup or just salad because they plan and they have these moves that are like, I'm gonna bang this girl even though it's the first date.
You don't want to be
and
gassy.
They want to stay light. They want to stay like limber and like be able to move around and like do things with themselves, you know, like and like really pull out the the guns.
Truth be told, when you're dating someone, the main thing is to just have fun, like enjoy yourself. This is the best time to really get to know someone for who they are and just be yourself and have them get to know you for who you are. And that's why dating is so much fun.
And always please remember that one date does not mean you have to marry that person. It really, it's unrealistic. So just keep it classy on that date. Just keep it classy.
Always. Always keep it classy.
Oh, that's my line. I love it. Anyway, I'm Rob Carrera.
And I'm Brittany Zielinski. That pretty much wraps up our show on First Dates. And Rob, I learned that you are more than you appear. You have a lot of good insight behind the chest hair.
I always have good insight. We've been filming this for like 4 years. I have amazing insight.
Anyway, so that wraps up our show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in January.
Have a good Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year, anything you celebrate. Happy holidays.
Yes.
I was pretty prepared to get naked for this shoot. Was that something? Should I do that? No? Okay.
The thing is, if you order lobster, he's expecting you to put out.
Like, Dating tip from Brittany. That's like a really hot thing that a girl like can't resist is when a guy's just like, I'm in control. I'm just gonna go for it, and you're like, what do I do with my hands? It's not thrifty. Since when does KFC take thrifty, Rob? What world are you in?
Thrifty, like smart, like it's not too expensive.
I thought you meant thrifty cash.
Thrifty cash. No. That's the thing.
Okay.
You don't want to be like too much in your zone. Like I'm gonna get like the steak with the fries on the side and the smashed potatoes. Like then you're just like BP and like just taking in all the oil. You know what I mean? Like writes what is it, trademark RTM. This kid. Love it.
Rob, the answer to that question is always no.
I haven't heard that before.